I don't want to overdo an interest in the BBC's Question Time, but last night's was particularly interesting. Fiona Bruce started the programme by saying that she was going to look at three things. That apparently the majority of people are disappointed by the court ruling of appeal judges. Is that true? Well, not according to Amir Abbasi. He started the programme by asking the question, is it time to admit failure with the Rwanda plan? And he says when two of the three judges say it's not safe, that should be enough, and we shouldn't waste any more time and money. And Helen Whately was then asked her opinion, and she said, of course, the government disagrees with the Court of Appeal. So, you know, why bother going to the Court of Appeal if the government's not going to take its advice? But anyway, she then went on with the propaganda about stopping small boats and open borders. I'll come back to that in a second. But Fiona Bruce leant across and said, and how much are the legal costs at the moment? And Whately started to prevaricate and then admitted that she didn't have an answer to that. She then went on and spoke about how the deterrent idea works because of how it's deterring Albanians from coming to the UK. What is deterring Albanians from coming to the UK is simply not true. There is an effort by the Albanian government, as well as by the British government. The British government isn't very active on this one. The British government hasn't gone where it was directed to go. But if the British government did, it would be significantly more successful. But the Albanian government is helping to discourage people from the north of Albania from taking that trip to the UK. And that's really, it's not a deterrent. It's education and it's information. Not a deterrent. Deterrence doesn't work. So using that language is particularly stupid and asinine. The programme went on to look at whether or not we should renationalise water and whether or not and how difficult it is to see our GP. And I think both of those subjects are interesting as well, and maybe we'll come back to them later. But Whately brought up this question of stopping small boats, and reviewing the stopping small boats is not the same as advocating open borders. And it's part of the propaganda of the Home Office that suggests that these two things are synonymous. They're really not. They're really not. And stopping small boats is about a humanitarian effort to stop people risking their lives in a really dangerous shipping lane. And open borders is something that perhaps is not to be encouraged. Open borders is, I can't think of any country really that's got an open border policy. Even the Schengen Agreement is not an open border policy. The Schengen Agreement is a policy that recognises the ease of travel around Europe. Do we want open borders? Are open borders actually going to sort anything out? There was a very good book written about open borders a few years ago, but the migration problem has exploded since then, and the same arguments which were advanced in favour of open borders controlling themselves because of basic economics doesn't apply anymore. This is why we need an international convention. This is why we need to look at this on a global scale rather than on a unilateral scale. And Helen Whately just needs to be prepared before she goes on a TV programme.